Many people in the United States work a full-time job and still struggle to make ends meet. Minimum wage is not just important to an unskilled worker, it's also important to anybody in the economy. First of all, minimum wage affects consumer spending, and consumer spending affects the economy, and the economy obviously affects everyone inside the economy. So, minimum wage is very important. Due to inflation, minimum wage has seen a decrease in value over the years. Today, I will discuss exactly what minimum wage is, the benefits of minimum wage, and the downside of minimum wage. So, first of all, minimum wage was first set into place in 1938 by the Fair Labor Standards Act. Minimum wage is basically a law that means or that makes an employer pay an employee a certain amount of money per hour. Today, the federal minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. One thing that the states can do, they can raise their minimum wage. So, for example, in Ohio, their minimum wage is like $8.10 an hour, and that overrides the federal minimum wage. So, now I'll explain the problems with minimum wage. First of all, the U.S. economy is a free market economy, and what that means is that everything's based on supply and demand, and the government should not affect the economy very much. In a perfect free market economy, the government doesn't step in at all, and it's completely laissez-faire. So, minimum wage is basically the government saying, hey, businesses, you have to pay your employees this amount of money per hour. And that's government stepping in, and so that's not technically free market. But many people agree with the minimum wage. So the problem is, should we increase it or should we just keep it the same? So some reasons for keeping it the same is because a lot of small businesses can't afford to pay their employees the minimum wage, so they can't increase, like they can't, or their business can't grow. Um, Most businesses that oppose minimum wage are businesses that outsource their jobs to other countries. Also, when minimum wage is in fact increased, you see a little bit of inflation because people are making more money, so consumer demand's going up, so that makes the prices go up as well. So now I'm going to explain why minimum wage should be increased. First of all, an increase in minimum wage will increase the middle class. And in a free market economy, you do want a big middle class. It also increases consumer spending, which increases the outflow of money and inflow of money, and that will increase the economy. So, according to David Cooper, the value of minimum wage has decreased. When Reagan took office to now, the value of minimum wage is down 20%. Also, according to David Cooper, if it was kept up with inflation, the minimum wage should be around $10.75. 4 out of 5 United States economists think that minimum wage should be set to about $10.10 an hour. In fact, Barack Obama has made the federal contracts, or everyone working under a federal contract, to be set to $10.10 an hour. And Barack Obama's also trying to make a big push to make that $10.10 an hour true for every worker in the United States. If minimum wage was set to $10.10 an hour, the Congressional Budget Office predicts that 900,000 people would rise out of poverty. And obviously, that's a good thing because you do not want people in poverty. About 71.6% of all workers, or of all people receiving federal help, so everyone receiving like government assistance, they work a full-time job or they're in working families, which you would think that if you are working, you shouldn't need government help. So this is a problem with our economy. An increase in $1 per hour reduces the likelihood of receiving government assistance by 3.1 percentage points. Now, basically, what this chart shows is how easy it would be to afford rent. Now, all the states in gray, they would have to work around 70 hours or a little bit less per week to afford rent. The light blue states would have to work around 71 to 88 hours, and the dark blue would have to work 88 hours a week just to afford rent. Also, one reason to increase minimum wage is because productivity has been increasing. Ever since 1948, productivity has gone way up, and consumer income has gone up as well, but not as well as the productivity should be. So you would think that if productivity goes up, your income should go up as well. But that's obviously not happening. And then this shows you how the real value of minimum wage has been decreasing over the years. So that's a little bit about minimum wage and a little bit about the problems with it. And hopefully our government can do something about this problem. Thank you for listening.